Senate confirms 45 out of 48 nominees as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Start working. The journey is long. Nigerians tell new ministers that the tasks and the big expectations are high. Office of the National Security Advisor settles down to the business of tackling terrorism with a multifaceted approach. Also on political update today, Nigeria and our neighbors, the realities surrounding the face-off in Niamey, Niger, and a boundary dispute with Cameroon that will just not go away. We have details of this and more on our lineup. I am Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The Senate has confirmed 45 persons as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria out of 48 nominees on the list submitted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Senate has so far approved and confirmed the nomination of about 45 ministers out of the total nominees of 48 ministers sent to us by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The others are still awaiting security clearance.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio there explaining why Sani Danladi from Taraba State, Nasir El-Rufai from Kaduna State, and Sela Okutete from Delta State were not confirmed alongside the others that were at the confirmation hearing. Earlier during the screening of Festus Keyamo SAN, he tendered apology to the Senate over a misunderstanding between his office and Parliament during his tenure as Minister of State, Labour and Productivity.
For the misunderstanding that arose between us in my committee at that time at the Night Assembly, I apologize without reservation, total apology.
Meanwhile, in line with the prayers of senators from the Southeast as tabled by Senator Tony Nwoye, Senate has urged President Tinubu to appoint additional ministers from that zone.
And to jobs at a lower pedestal, the House of Representatives says anyone found culpable of job racketeering in the MDAs will face the full wrath of the law. Chairman House Committee, Ad hoc Committee investigating job racketeering, Yusuf Gagdi, has been looking through the books of the Federal Character Commission.
Misbehave, wala you live.
Kolo Haruna, a one-time IPPIS desk officer with the Federal Character Commission, is one name that has been resonating over allegations of job racketeering in the commission. Appearing before the committee, Kolo Haruna alleges he acted on instructions to remit proceeds of job racketeering to his boss.
So many people, like almost 25 of them. One will pay 1 million, the other will pay 1.5 million, all to my personal account. After which, she instructed me to give her the cash, all in cash installments. There's no transfer, there's nothing, just for me to withdraw through POS, from this POS to that POS, cash installment, and take it to her. I was never at any time involved in selling jobs to anyone. I only acted based on instructions, sir.
But the chairman, Federal Character Commission, refutes his allegations.
I've never in my life.
Stand up and scream.
It's here. Ask him to give me 1 naira. It's here.
The drama continues, but the investigating committee is determined to bring job racketeers to book.
Whosoever that is found wanting will answer his father's name. Will answer his father's name. So that including Kolo Haruna.
Yes.
More testimonies are expected in subsequent hearings of the committee.
All right, we will talk about that and others in the course of the program, but let's start with this. With 45 names already confirmed as ministers, the distribution of portfolios is next, with the ministers designate expected to be deployed to ministries where their core areas of competence will be best served. Of course, this is not always the case, so experts in different sectors have, on this medium in recent time, enumerated the challenges confronting each sector. with the ministers expected to galvanize the needed energy and dynamism to project the mantra renewed hope. Dominic Alancha, an APC Chieftain, joins us today. Thank you very much for joining us, Dominic. So far, 45 names scaled through. Are you satisfied with the makeup of this team?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, we are satisfied with the names that have been sent to the Senate for confirmation, and let me use this opportunity to congratulate them for their screening and confirmation, as ministerial nominees, Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you see, one thing
now
I keep telling people,
now
ministers, well, we are expecting that by tomorrow they will be, assigned their portfolio. So you see, the ministerial nominees, you cannot fault them, because we believe that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is somebody with a gag, with the capacity to identify competent persons, that will pilot the affairs, of this country. He has done it when he was in Lagos, where he, fetched out or fished out, talent that help him in piloting the affairs of Lagos State. Lagos is what it is today, not because of him alone, but because of the team he has, he was able to put in place in Lagos. So we are trusting God, and we are believing that these ministers that have already been nominated, they will not disappoint. They will prove their capacity. They will not disappoint Mr. President, and they will not disappoint Nigerians. If you look at the list also, you will agree with me that certain expectations were met in terms of mainstreaming young people into, the leadership positions, bringing young people into his government. In terms of women, at least for the women, a little below, 30%, was met. So we trust that we are believing that going forward, in future we'll be able to meet up the 35% affirmative, that, every, political party and government will always promise. And if you look at it from the political angle, also from the party angle, most of them were, they have the capacity. But what I think is a bit lacking, in that list is the fact that that list should have accommodated, certain persons, that have been loyal to the party, that have been loyal to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that have, that have the political clout. Because if we are looking at 2027, because whether you like it or not, other political parties, the PDP, the Labour Party, even though they are still in court, the plan for 2027 has already begun. So we should also put our house in order. You need certain persons with the political clout to be there. There are certain persons I was expecting that they are going to be in this list. For example, I was expecting the likes of Dimeji Bankole. He's somebody that I believe has the capacity. If you look at even the achievement of the past government in terms of, the infrastructural drives that the Buhari administration was able to achieve, Fashola was very key to it. We expect that for continuity, somebody like Fashola will also be brought on board, to help this government in terms of delivering, the campaign promises, the renewed hope promises, in terms of the infrastructural development.
I will renew a few questions also.
Yes.
Why you are, because of course this is a country of 200 million people.
Absolutely.
Even I didn't see my name there, but it's notwithstanding. We all want to be there as well, but that's just by the way. Let's move to between concept and actuality. What are your expectations in concrete terms, especially in the key sectors of petroleum resources, industry, trade and investment, works, power, education, health, and perhaps also, of course, agriculture?
Well, the expectation is quite high. If you look at, the document Renewed Hope, that document is very detailed in terms of the deliverables. The Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu want to deliver in agriculture, in energy, in the power sector, in the petroleum sector. For example, in the petroleum sector, this thing have started already. The removal of fuel subsidy have started, but Nigerians are saying they should have, put in place certain palliatives that would have cushioned the effect of the fuel subsidy removal, because every Nigerians believe that the fuel subsidy removal was a fraud. It was a fraud. You know, it is only certain few persons
you
that
mean
were
the fuel subsidy itself, not the removal.
The fuel subsidy itself was a complete fraud. We know that there was, I mean, it was only few people that were benefiting from the fuel subsidy. For example, we had that the fuel subsidy that they were paying in the past was within the range of 60-something million. But when they removed the 60-something million liters per day, but when they removed this fuel subsidy, our consumption dropped down to, I think, less than 13 million, per liters per day. So you see, even some other African countries, like Cote d'Ivoire, like Benin Republic, like Niger Republic, where getting their fuel from Nigeria, we were the one paying subsidy for them, which was unacceptable. So we are expecting that these ministerial nominees, because much is expected from them, they say to whom much is given, much is expected. We expect that they will sit down, look at the renewed hope document of Mr. President, because he's bringing them on board to help him in delivering his campaign promises to Nigerians. He's bringing them on board to help him, advance governance, in Nigeria. So much is expected from them. And the president should sit down and look at, you made mention of something, that these people should be allocated portfolio based on their competencies. We saw a lot of them. We know that they are coming with certain values, to the table. If you take a lawyer and, well, it depends. But these people, they should look at their competence, they should look at their capacity, and then assign them portfolios that they will not but, deliver in terms of advancing governance.
I still have some, questions for you, but before we go to that, let me quickly take a story or two, looking at some of the, issues emanating from other parties as well. The PDP Governors Forum presented an 8-point communique after a meeting with the national leadership of the party recently. Maintaining party discipline and putting forward a zero-tolerance stance for anti-party activities topped the communique.
It's an enlarged meeting of the PDP Governors Forum, the National Working Committee, and the 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his running mate Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. The meeting, after a few hours of deliberations behind closed doors, resolved, among others, that no individual or group of individuals will be allowed to undermine the unity of the party and its processes, as it also commits to repositioning and stabilizing the party.
To this end, the healing and reconciliation process are in progress, and I am happy to report that they are yielding results. 3, the meeting signaled that unity and loyalty are single core values of the PDP and would be adequately rewarded.
All the governors and organs of the party solidly support the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the PDP vice presidential candidate Senator Ifeanyi Okowa in their petition at the Presidential Election Petition Court. On the economy, the PDP governors promised to work in partnership with the party at the state and national level to ensure good governance, transparency, and accountability. It appealed to the federal government to show leadership in curtailing the cost of governance for a healthy economy. The meeting also advised the government not to go into any form of war with the Republic of Niger over the recent military coup in the country. Rather, all tools of dialogue and diplomacy should be further employed. The forum commended the PDP for inaugurating the campaign councils for the off-season elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states.
Delta and Ogun State chairmen of the new Nigeria People's Party NNPP have been expelled from the party. The party's National Working Committee approved the recommendation for their expulsion following the report of a disciplinary committee set up to investigate anti-party activities by some leaders of the party.
The Nigeria People's Party has been undergoing some internal restructuring as fallout of the 2023 general elections. The party is concerned about the poor outing it showed in some states and working around the clock to reposition for future elections. In order to achieve this, The NWC is wielding the big stick, and the immediate fallout is suspension of some leaders who sold out in the general election and outright dismissal of those whose cases are beyond redemption.
The Ogun State chairman, in the name of Ogini Olafosi, and in Delta, F.A. Tofo. So they have all gone. All this that has happened in our party was actually led by these two chairmen, which to our own thinking, to our own observation, legally, they are not even members of our party.
The party is also working round the clock to pull surprises in the forthcoming governorship elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi states.
A quick peek at security now. The Office of the National Security Advisor says it is strategizing on a holistic approach to the ongoing demobilization and reintegration program in countering violent extremism in Nigeria.
Violent extremism is a global occurrence undermining communities, fundamental human rights, and national security. In realization of the complex nature of the security challenge, the federal government, in addition to military combat operations, adopted a program for preventing and countering violent extremism.
Our approach to violent extremism must be rooted in our collaborative efforts and in the principle of whole of society approach to addressing issues including countering the ideology extremist group, building trust and community resilience at the grassroots level.
This platform is to equip delegates with strategic insight and review existing national and state disarmament, disengagement, and reintegration programs for preventing and countering violent extremism frameworks with focus on the policy, legal, and operational requirements for establishing a national approach.
Our DDR efforts need to be reconfigured in policies, tools, and practices to address the diversity of our security challenges orchestrated by different non-state armed groups in the country.
Because of political will, we can see that we now have over 120 returnees. And because we have political will on the part of the federal government also, every state is now encouraged to carry out a kind of PCV activities in all their MTAs.
So far, the program is increasing the level of awareness on the benefits of non-kinetic approach to fighting terrorism.
And still on security, this time, international mediations, the ECOWAS Chiefs of Defense Staff meeting in Abuja has urged Niger's military to give peace a chance by releasing President Mohamed Bazoum and return to democracy. For now, all options remain on the table in resolving the Niamey face-off.
Past 2 days, ECOWAS Chiefs of Defense Staff converged on Abuja in response to decision of the authority of ECOWAS heads of state and government. It is a single agenda, restoring Niger to democratic family, following the action of a military junta that seized power from the democratic government.
The coup in the Republic of Niger has highlighted the fragility of our region. We must intensify our diplomatic efforts to engage with all relevant stakeholders. Dialogue and negotiations should be at the forefront of our approach in resolving the crisis in the Republic of Niger. It is crucial to recognize that the success of our deliberation depends on the implementation of the recommendations that we have formulated. We must ensure that decisions taken here today are not mere rhetorics, but are transformed into tangible actions on the ground.
While diplomacy is ongoing, ECOWAS has perfected plans for a possible military action.
The Chiefs of Defense Staff and their teams have worked round the clock to come up with a concept of operation for an eventual military intervention in the Republic of Niger to restore constitutional order, to ensure the release of the detained President Mohamed Bazoum.
Our president, a core Democrat, an astute believer in Africa, and particularly West Africa, is committed to ensuring that we restore peace, democracy, and good governance in the Republic of Niger. Being a Democrat, therefore, he believes in diplomatic means of resolving issues. Military option is the last option.
All right. right, you're still watching Political Update on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Dominic Alancha, an APC Chieftain, is still here with us. So many things have happened in the past 2 months since this new administration, including even the chaos across our border in Niger, in Niamey. What are your comments at this time? Have we been able to handle this matter very well?
Well, you just had the Chief of Defense Staff saying that there are so many options on the table, especially negotiation and dialogue. I personally believe that you can win peace not only by war. Though the decision of the ECOWAS will be binding on all ECOWAS members. I want Nigerians to also not see this as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's decision. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is only the president of ECOWAS, head of states. And because if you go around town, people are saying Nigeria is at war with Niger, Nigeria is going into war with Niger. It's not Nigeria, it's ECOWAS. And whatsoever be the decision of ECOWAS, it will be binding on all members, state of ECOWAS. So I think that, with what is happening, people are calling for, for them to explore other options without necessarily going into war. And that is also my take. I believe that we can win peace not only through war. Negotiation is out there. They should deploy all international diplomacy to see how they can resolve this and restore democracy, back in Niger, because democracy is very important. We cannot, allow coup d'etat to continue to take over our government in Africa.
Dominic Alancha, your party now has its ministers. Earlier, you also got your national chairman. Is it all system go now? Because from now, Nigerians are marking your script, including me.
Absolutely. For me, I think what is happening in our party is happening for good. The party need a very strong leadership, and Abdullah Ganduje, I believe, has the capacity to do that. What I will, suggest is that there is need for a reconciliation committee to be set up so that they can reach out to all aggrieved members of the party and, reconcile them. There is need for return of constitutional order within the party, because the party, the way Abdullah Adamu has been managing the party, is at variance with our constitution. And for the ministerial list, like I said earlier, is not too politically savvy. Certain names are missing there. The president should reach out to them. The likes of Ibrahim Masari, former governor of Katsina State, the likes of Tanko Al-Makura, former governor of Nasarawa State, the likes of Fashola, Raji Fashola, who did so much. He was the head of the election monitoring. Bayo Onanuga, our former national legal advisor.
But you agree
we expected that their names will be on this list. No, it's not there, but I believe that.
Dominic, you agree with me that Nigeria has so many, big brains as well to do this job. But one would want to say, perhaps just like your party has said, and your mantra has been renewed hope. So we renew the, the looks into what you are. What you are doing and what you will still do in terms of what your plans are, and of course the space is still there to watch. I'm not sure that all the key positions are are only meant for, about ministers alone. Perhaps some other functions will also be given. I'm not a member of your party as well, but of course we would be looking at this space to see how that pans out. Before I let you go, just a word. Like I said, it's the ballot sheet that always proves eventually how people will mark your scripts. But going forward, what should be your expectation, very quickly, in a few short words, for your party and government?
Well, Nigerians should expect advanced governance with the ministers that are coming on board, and with the president that we trust and believe that he has the capacity to move this country forward, in terms of providing, good governance to Nigerians. So we should look forward and then have hopes in this government, support this government to deliver on their campaign promises. I believe that very soon we'll begin to sing Kumbaya by the special grace of God.
Dominic Alancha is on those words that we put on marble for next time to see if they will stand the true test of time. My name is Fisa Ogunfuyi. Many thanks to you for watching Political Update for today. And of course, we'll be back again to give you another special edition of the program. Don't forget that between now and then, keep on playing your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest and finest, for the best in news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.